I am in shock. I am in shock. The Indiana Fever just beat the Aces. The first win for the Indiana Fever against the Las Vegas Aces since I was 22 years old. Aces MVP to refs, Fever is MVP, and Alyssa Smith. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
The Las Vegas Aces, once crowned the unstoppable dynasty, just got exposed for the overhyped machine they really are. A humiliating 27-point meltdown? Done. Aja Wilson getting whistle protection like she's royalty and still flopping? Absolutely. Chelsea Gray, the supposed floor general, vanishing when it mattered most. Classic. While Aja was out here pulling defenders over the back and somehow dodging calls, a storm was brewing in Indianapolis. A squad built on grit, not favoritism, the Indiana Fever, are done watching the league bow to Vegas. They're here to show the world what real, team-first, no shortcuts basketball actually looks like.
And Aja Wilson, my God, you see how many free throws that lady have? Oh my God, on the stat sheet she had basically 30 points, but all the free throws this woman got, man, they tried their best to keep the Aces in the game, man, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter, man. They destroyed the Aces. About freaking time the Fever finally beats the Aces, man, and without Kate.
The Indiana Fever's 81-54 demolition of the Las Vegas Aces wasn't just a win. It was a reckoning. It sent one undeniable message: flashy reputations, rigged whistles, and A.J. Wilson's usual bailout routine won't cut it against a team that actually plays with heart, purpose, and discipline. No legacy favoritism, no superstar immunity. Just pure, unapologetic basketball. And the Aces, they never saw it coming.
But this was a big win for the Fever because the Aces were the only team that they had not won at least one game to last season, meaning the Aces swept the Fever last season. They actually haven't won a game against the Aces in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark. This team is crazy. They are beating the number one team in the league first. And then they go and beat the Aces, who they haven't won to in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark, which is just a testament to how this team is finally developing.
Now let's break down that third quarter, because this is where things really heat up. Lexi Hull, who's been grinding all season, does everything right. Textbook out, solid stance, secures the rebound by the book. But then Aja Wilson comes flying in from behind, wraps over Hull's head, and yanks at the ball like it's a free-for-all. That wasn't hustle. That was a blatant over-the-back foul. Clear as day. And the refs? Silence. Business as usual.
Both teams got to the line a decent amount of times. Aja Wilson, she got a favorable whistle in the second half, but it is what it is. Superstars get the whistle. Unless your name is, 29 points for Aja Wilson. 3 boards, 3 personal fouls, 3 turnovers, 9 for 18 from the field goal, from the field, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Look at the rest of her team. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 6 points, 0 points, 4 points, 2 points, 3 points. Dana Evans, 1 for 10, Dana Evans.
Any basketball fan with even a basic understanding of the game knew exactly what that should have been. Over the back. Simple. Indiana ball. Move on. But what did the refs do instead? They called a jump ball. A jump ball. As if Aja Wilson and Lexi Hull were fighting for position equally, when in reality, Wilson came in late and fouled her from behind. It was blatant. It was absurd. It was rigged.
Yeah, well, I don't know about frustrations boiling over as more to just like making a point. Caitlin says she got me though, so. One more than that. She just got a bonus.
And by bonus, she was meaning the Commissioner's Cup bonus, which was $49 or $43,000 per player, because the prize pool was $500,000. And apparently, Steph White just was pissed about the officiating. I don't know if it was Aja Wilson's whistle or...
Even the broadcasters couldn't hide their disbelief. You could hear the hesitation, the stammering, as they tried to make sense of what just happened. The contact wasn't subtle. It was blatant. There was nothing borderline or questionable about it. Yet somehow, the officials twisted an obvious foul into a so-called neutral play that conveniently bailed out the offender. A clear violation turned into an advantage. That's not officiating, that's protection.
Third. Like I said, the referees were starting to get on the side of the Aces. They were trying to wheel the Aces back in, and Lexi stepped in and sort of killed it. Kelsey Mitchell never took her foot off the gas tonight, by the way. This is the best thing I've seen from Stephanie White all season long. Right here, she was aggravated by the refs already, and in the fourth quarter, 5:35 left, Stephanie White lost her shit on the sideline. She lost her shit. And let me just play this right here. Roll it.
Lost that lead late.
And she's gonna. You see her just losing it up here, losing it. And she got teed up right there. And Caitlin Clark loved.
If you are enjoying, please leave a like and subscribe our channel. But here's where this story gets beautiful. The Indiana Fever didn't let bad officiating stop them. They took that questionable call, absorbed it, and then proceeded to demolish the Aces in a way that made every questionable whistle completely irrelevant. Let's break down this masterpiece of destruction quarter by quarter, because what the Fever did to the Aces was nothing short of basketball poetry. In the first quarter, Indiana came out swinging. They scored the game's first 6 points and never looked back. By the time the dust settled, they were up 21-14, and it was already clear that this wasn't going to be the Aces' night. The Fever shot 52.9% from the field while holding Las Vegas to 28.6%. They dominated the paint 16-4, showing early that they were going to attack the Aces where it hurt most.
They really put it on. Right here, you can see 24 points in the first half for the Aces. I mean, seriously, for the Aces. Points in the paint, 38-20. I mean, it was a dominant win. But
second quarter, this is where the Fever stepped on their throats. They outscored the Aces 25-10 in the quarter, shooting an absolutely ridiculous 81.8% from the field, while Las Vegas managed just 23.5%. They went perfect 6 for 6 from inside the paint, while the Aces could only manage 3 of 13. By halftime, it was 46-24, and the game was essentially over. Third quarter, this is where the controversial call happened, but it didn't matter. Let's be clear. If the right call is made, Indiana gets the ball, maintains possession, and keeps the Aces from gaining any momentum. That's a possession that could have led to another Fever bucket, further demoralizing a Las Vegas team already on the ropes. By calling a jump ball, the officials handed Las Vegas a lifeline. The Aces had a chance to win the tip and potentially swing the momentum. For a moment, it looked like the officiating was about to tilt the game in favor of the defending champs, just as they needed a break.
This defense is playing phenomenal. Oh my God, it's night and day. I think that Commissioner's Cup gave them swag. Now they're swagging it out. I never seen Natasha Howard so aggressive in my life. This girl is beasting now all suddenly. She is beast moding right now. And Timpson, the rookie, getting block shots, getting steals. Aaliyah Boston is just murking, destroying Aja Wilson. I got a Wilson. I got a nickname for Aja Wilson, guys. You know what it is? Whistle Wilson. Because this lady's always getting whistles. She's the person with the special whistle, guys. Every freaking time. And then she goes to the free throw line. Freaking free throw merchant. I think she's related to SGA. But anyway, she's not playing that great.
For the Fever, this was a classic here we go again moment. Every player and coach in the building knew what they had just witnessed. Lexi Hull did everything right and still didn't get rewarded. That's the kind of missed call that can rattle a young team, especially against a marquee opponent like the Aces. For the Aces, it was a chance to breathe. Down big, struggling to find offense, and suddenly the refs give you a 50/50 ball you didn't deserve. That's the kind of moment that, in most games, can spark a run. Despite the questionable officiating, the Fever kept their foot on the gas. When Lexi Hall and Kelsey Mitchell hit back-to-back three-pointers after the Aces briefly cut the lead to 13, it was game over. The lead ballooned back to 68-47 heading into the final quarter. Fourth quarter, pure domination. The Aces managed just 7 points in the entire quarter. 7 points. That's not basketball. That's a complete and total collapse. The final score of 81-54 doesn't even tell the full story of how thoroughly the Fever dismantled what was supposed to be a championship-caliber team.
The Aces tried to put a little run together to start the third quarter, and Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall shut that shit down. They shut it down by hitting some big shots. All right, that steal led to the only 2 points that Sophie Cunningham had, but it was big. So right here, let's start Aaliyah Boston right here. That's Sydney Colson to Boston. She's going to drive into the lane, and I've got to tell you, she gave A'ja Wilson all.
But let's talk about A'ja Wilson's performance in context, because the numbers tell a fascinating story. She finished with 29 points on 9 of 18 shooting and 11 of 13 from the free throw line. On paper, those look like solid numbers. She got to the line 13 times, only 4 fewer than the entire Indiana Fever team. She had a favorable whistle all game long, including that questionable jump ball call. But here's the devastating reality. A'ja Wilson scored 29 points and her team still lost by 27. Think about that for a moment. The supposed best player in the league had what most people would call a good statistical night, and it was completely meaningless because the rest of her team was non-existent.
I'm about to say some words I never thought I'd say. Free A'ja Wilson. Free her now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. I never thought I'd say this. If I'm A'ja, I'm in that locker room, I'm stripping everybody of their A1s. I'm sure I didn't give y'all these free shoes, and y'all gonna come out here and y'all can't even give me more than 5 points. None of y'all, where y'all at? Y'all can't help me out. I'm reigning MVP. I'm bringing y'all these champions. I took a pay cut for some of y'all to be here, and you can't give me no points. Really, I'm over here, I have 25 points in the third quarter, and you can't give me nothing.
After Wilson's 9 of 18 shooting, the rest of the Las Vegas Aces went 7 of 43 from the field. That's 16.3% shooting from everyone not named A'ja Wilson. No other Aces player scored more than 6 points. Let that sink in. On a team that's supposed to have championship depth, the MVP candidate was essentially playing 1-on-5 basketball. And speaking of players who were supposed to provide support, let's talk about Chelsea Gray, the player who some people claim is better than Caitlin Clark. Gray finished with 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting, with 2 assists and 5 turnovers. 2 points! This is the veteran leader who's supposed to run the offense and make her teammates better. Instead, she looked like she was playing in quicksand, while the Fever's defense suffocated everything the Aces tried to do.
We got point guard with more turnovers than points and assists combined. More turnovers than points and assists combined. We got point guard, aka point fraud. And remember, this is probably who the WNBA player said was also better than Caitlin Clark. They said I'm pretty confident they said she was better.
Compare that to what Caitlin Clark was doing from the sideline. While Chelsea Gray was out there struggling to score 2 points, Clark was cheering her teammates, providing energy, and being a vocal leader even while injured. The camera caught her multiple times, fired up on the bench, celebrating every big play and keeping her team engaged. That's real leadership, the kind that impacts winning even when you can't contribute on the stat sheet. The Fever's performance without their superstar was a masterclass in team basketball. Kelsey Mitchell led the way with 25 points and 6 assists. Aaliyah Boston added 20 points and 7 rebounds. Natasha Howard, the Commissioner's Cup MVP, contributed 11 points and 10 rebounds. This was balanced scoring, unselfish basketball, and championship-level execution.
Guys, when did Indiana Fever turn into the best defensive team in the NBA? When? I mean, after that celebration from the Commissioner's Cup, we all thought they were going to come out here a little bit hangover. I mean, their defensive prowess has gone up 100%. In the first half, we have Aces down 22 points. We have only beaten Las Vegas Aces one time in 9 years. For those who do not know that statistic, we've only beaten them once in 9 years. Their defense is impenetrable. We have 28 points in the paint for the second quarter. We're shooting 90% from the field in the second quarter. This is insane.
But the real story was the defense. The Fever held the Aces to 26% shooting, their lowest offensive output of the season. They forced 17 turnovers. They controlled the paint with a 28-10 advantage in the first half alone. They played suffocating team defense that made every possession a struggle for Las Vegas. This wasn't just one player carrying a team. This was 5 players working in perfect harmony, covering for each other, making the extra pass, and playing with the kind of chemistry that the Aces have been desperately searching for all season long. The eye test backed up the numbers completely. While Wilson was putting up her 29 points in what essentially amounted to empty galleries, the Fever were systematically breaking down everything the Aces tried to do. They were switching seamlessly on defense, moving the ball with precision on offense, and executing their game plan with the kind of discipline that championship teams display.
Team win, folks. Team win. And you notice the team win, like I said, 24 assists on 31 shots. 24 assists on 31 shots. The Indiana Fever hold the Las Vegas Aces to 26% from the field. 26%. This was a Fever defense smothering. The Aces weren't just missing shots. The Fever defense was all over the place. Defensively, we were all over the place. Neither team could hit a three, except for Kelsey Mitchell. Money Mitch.
And through it all, Caitlin Clark was having the time of her life on the sidelines. You could see her genuine excitement for her teammates, her infectious energy spreading through the bench, and her leadership presence, even while unable to play. Compare that to the dejected body language of the Aces, who looked like a team that couldn't figure out how they'd gotten into such a deep hole. This game exposed something that's been building all season. The Las Vegas Aces are not the same team they used to be. They've lost their identity, their chemistry, and their ability to play winning basketball when things get tough. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever are finding their identity at exactly the right time. The most damning statistic of the night, this was the Fever's first win over the Aces since 2019. They had lost 16 straight games to Las Vegas, 16, and when they finally broke through, they didn't just win. They dominated from start to finish in a way that left no doubt about which team was better prepared, better coached, and better equipped to handle adversity. A'ja Wilson can get all the favorable calls she wants. She can grab players from over their heads and get jump balls instead of fouls. She can get to the free throw line more than entire opposing teams. But at the end of the day, basketball is still played on the court, and team basketball still beats individual heroics.
Gang! Fever gang! Down goes the punk-ass Las Vegas Aces, everybody! Kelsey Mitchell, the road runner, out there dropping daggers with a 25-piece Boston Market with the rotisserie chicken, baked beans, corn on the cob, mashed potatoes, every drink available. The tiny assassin, Harry McDonald, out there slicing through the defense, getting buckets. A'ja crybaby ass Wilson, hold this L. You ain't nothing but a free throw merchant, goofy Indiana Fever. That's how y'all ball. I don't know what's going on right now, but y'all got the momentum. We can't wait till Caitlin Clark is back on the floor.
The Indiana Fever sent a clear message with this performance. They're not intimidated by reputations, they're not fazed by questionable officiating, and they're not going to back down from anyone. They've got real chemistry, real toughness, and real championship potential. As for the Las Vegas Aces, they'd better figure things out quickly, because this performance showed that they're no longer the team to beat. They're no longer the standard. They're just another team trying to figure out how to win basketball games. And Asia Wilson? She can keep getting her numbers while her team falls apart around her. But until the Aces figure out how to play team basketball again, those individual achievements are going to feel pretty empty when the final buzzer sounds. The Indiana Fever have officially arrived. No Caitlin Clark, no problem. The Las Vegas Aces have officially been put on notice. All the favorable calls in the world won't save you from superior team basketball. Welcome to the new WNBA hierarchy. The Fever are in town, and they're not going anywhere. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.